I recorded this video a week before this happened. Before I begin this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to Akira Toriyama. May you rest in peace, because you created something so great that a lot of things would not exist without you. Hey fellas of YouTube, this is Rabe speaking, and this is going to be a different type of video where it is similar to one video I did years ago. Well, not years ago, but like over a year ago, where I talked about like why I still watch Star Wars. I wanted to do something similar to that, where I talk about classic anime as the topic. I am not watching any classic anime at the moment, but I will. I have a couple ideas on what I want to watch next. Why do I review it? Why do I watch it? Well, I remember I had one comment, like on one of my videos. One person, and it was a nice comment. Like one person said like, hey, you know, this was a cool video and all, but why don't you review some recent anime, like just something that's more mainstream? Of course, there are some classic animes that are very mainstream. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, those classics. But then there are the other classics that are just so under the radar that people just ignore them for the newer shows. And I'm not against you guys for watching the newer shows. In fact, I have talked about newer shows when I do the What's New with my friend Chandler. You know, we do those videos just to keep ourselves updated on the newer stuff. With classic anime, not everybody talks about it. Like I typed in, like before I was reviewing classic animes, I would look up something like Meisani Koko, and I would only see like 2 videos. And I'm like, huh? And this was a popular anime back then, like in the 80s. So why is nobody talking about it that much? So I just took it upon myself to like, hey, maybe talk about Meisani Koko will give me views, and it will give that anime more attention. One of the reasons why I like watching classic anime is because it brings back the memories I felt as a kid. During the 80s, they didn't find its way here in America. It took a very, very long time. So there was no English dubs or anything like that. It was only popular in Japan. And so later in the 90s, the late 90s, that's when Toonami came out. They would release shows like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, and on Kids WB there would be Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! It was starting to have a fan base, and that fan base would just grow and grow and grow into the anime community that we know today. Another place you could watch anime was Adult Swim. I think it was on Saturday nights. And the great thing about watching anime on Adult Swim was it was uncensored, so it didn't hold back on the violence or the swearing. Yu Yu Hakusho was quite the experience for me as a kid. My hair is getting messy, guys. I need to comb better. But anyway, though, let's get back to the discussion. So another reason why I review classic anime is the impact. And what I mean by that is that a lot of these classic animes have so much history and so much inspiration that it helped create these other series that came after it, like how Dragon Ball inspired One Piece or Naruto or Bleach. Of course, Dragon Ball isn't the only inspiration. Yu Yu Hakusho, Sailor Moon, Fist of the North Star, which I have not watched yet. Just all these series, just all of them are an impact. And you have to give credit to those series no matter what. But it's really interesting when you look back at that, and when you learn stuff like that, you really feel educated about how anime started off. Because newer series would not be what they are if it wasn't for the older series. I might be losing my voice, guys, so let's go on to the last reason, and that is comparing older anime to newer anime. Like, people, whenever they watch 2 series that are in the same genre, they always compare the similarities but also the differences, if that makes sense. Like, say if you were to compare Evangelion with Darling in the Franxx, both are clearly mechas, but they both tell their own stories. Like, they both have different outcomes and how it builds up to that. Or maybe you compare Yu Yu Hakusho to My Hero Academia, where they both have tournament arcs, but the tournaments are totally different from each other. Or maybe you compare Yu-Gi-Oh to Pokemon, and everybody always says that Yu-Gi-Oh is a ripoff of Pokemon. I disagree on that, but that's a different discussion. And then you come up with your own debate on social media. As long as that debate is friendly and not aggressive, like I see so many debates on social media where they are so aggressive with each other. They just argue with each other like, no, Black Clover is better than Demon Slayer, go fuck yourself. No, Demon Slayer is better, go fuck yourself. Like, come on, guys. It's just a show. It's just a show. If you're thinking about watching a classic anime, do it, because with newer shows, like you've watched a lot of newer shows where you watched it from the beginning to the end and you loved it. So you might feel the same way with that one classic anime, only when you finish it, you might say to yourself, wow, I wish I watched that earlier, because I felt that way so many times. So many times. Of course, there are those classic animes that I wasn't really into too much. I mean, I've talked about them a couple times, but most of them I've watched that I just love and plan on rewatching someday, and we're gonna cross that bridge when we get there. Thanks for watching. What classic animes do you plan on watching? Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you are new to this channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. I'm Rob A, and may the anime force be with you.